Do I have a valid age discrimination claim? Hi, everyone. I'm Texas employment rights attorney Chris McKinney, and today we're talking about age discrimination. As the population has gotten older, we've seen more and more people coming into our office with potential claims of age discrimination. However, often when people come in, they feel very strongly that they've been discriminated against because of age, but they're not exactly sure if they might have a potential claim for it because no one actually ever told them, we hate older people, or we're firing you because you're an older worker. That sort of thing doesn't happen in the workplace very often. So what type of evidence are we generally looking for when we're trying to determine whether an employee or a former employee has a viable wrongful termination claim for age discrimination? Well, here's a few. The first one, and perhaps the most important one, is after you were terminated, who replaced you? What did that person look like? And most importantly, how old was that person? So if you've been with the company for 20 years and you're 65 years old and you've been terminated and replaced with someone with almost no experience in the industry who's 25 or 30 years old, and there's no other viable explanation for your termination, no valid reason that the company can give why they are firing you, in your opinion, then that's pretty good evidence that age might be related to your reason for discharge. Other types of evidence that we're commonly looking for are comments that are not specifically related to age, but are often made about people when employers or managers feel that they're too old for the job. Comments about their speed, how fast they're moving in the office, or about their levels of aggression. Well, we felt like we needed someone who was more aggressive in this role. That's a statement that is commonly used when a manager is terminating someone and replacing them with someone younger, and it's a good indicator of age discrimination. Often in these cases, we find when we interview a potential client that they've recently come under new management within the last year or two. And very often that new management is actually younger than them. And sometimes younger managers have difficulty dealing or supervising, they feel uncomfortable supervising older employees who may have quite a lot more experience than they do. And as a result, they make decisions that they shouldn't and seek to terminate those employees due to their level of discomfort in having to manage older employees. Other types of evidence that we sometimes see in age discrimination are a disparity in earnings, such as if you've worked for a company for 15 or 20 years, you might be at the very top of the earnings bracket for that company, and everyone else doing what you do is making $10,000 or $20,000 lower. Well, that's awfully enticing to a manager looking to make budget to get rid of the older employee and replace them with someone younger, and thereby cheaper, and make their budget numbers that way. We also look for comments that are made by members of management, sometimes coworkers, that are maybe made in jest, but are definitely euphemisms or other ways of saying age, such as calling the older worker a dinosaur, while laughing, of course, or ask the old man or the grandpa, or I've even had a client who was called Moses around the office. Yes, sometimes this can be good-natured fun and ribbing, and we're not trying to wipe all of that out of the workplace, but other times this type of humor really is an indication of what is thought about an employee in the workplace. Some other types of evidence that we sometimes see are comments about the employee, not the older employee, not being up to date or not being sufficiently knowledgeable about modern or new technologies or ways of doing things, and you're too set in the old ways. That's often a euphemism for age discrimination. And that's particularly bad if the company's not doing a good job in providing training to older, more experienced workers in their new computer systems and new systems and ways of doing things. So this is not a complete list of all the types of evidence that is indicative of age discrimination in a wrongful termination case, but it's a good starter list of the types of evidence that we often see. If you've seen any of this type of evidence in your situation and you believe that perhaps you've been wrongfully terminated due to your age, what do you need to do? Very simply, you need to find and go speak with a qualified employment lawyer as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, the timelines on these types of cases, that what we call statutes of limitations, can run very fast, much less than a year in some cases. So it's important that you get in to see a qualified employment lawyer as quickly as possible. If you'd like to contact me about your situation, you can visit my website. It's listed down below. It's themckinney.com. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and like the video. That helps more people find us. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.